In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, today is Monday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
Thank you, Matt. And in honor of May 4th and May the 4th be with you.
And your spirit.
We're going to talk about the Force. Now, I know this sounds silly, but there's a lot of real world influences with the Force. But we're going to get into that. It won't be as geeky as you think it will be. Let's put it that way.
You asked for it,
and as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything with that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We're back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Welcome back, Padawan.
Welcome back to you, Matt Fox. That's the other voice you hear.
Yes.
We're here in the palatial podcast, Your Voice, Southfield Studios.
Yeah.
Hanging out, doing a podcast.
It's
we're
Monday.
celebrating the May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
You know what tomorrow is, right?
May 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Sith day.
Oh, yes. The 5th, Sith. Yes. Yes. We're enjoying a cocktail that we made during the Man Cave Happy Hour podcast, which was just finished up.
Yeah.
Check that out if you'd like. We're doing a drink called the Death Star.
We did.
Yes.
And our ice cubes were shaped like
Death Stars.
They
Yes.
were round cubes.
Yeah.
Round balls of ice.
Yeah.
And by the end of the episode,
yours split.
My split just like the Death Star did. So it was perfect.
And mine's keeping its form. I mean, it's smaller, but hey, that happens.
Yeah, no, but no, we're good.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to know what you have to say about the Force.
Yes, and we're going to get into that.
Yes.
And before we do that, let me tell you first where you can find me, my website, motorcityhypnotist.com. We're right on the verge of grad season starting up. My first grad night is 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So a week and 5 days away. And the grad season goes into the second week of June. So I know it's late notice, but if you have need for entertainment for your grad night party, go to motorcityhypnotist.com/shows. You can have a quote within minutes and book within minutes as well.
Okay.
So do it now because dates are pretty filled up right now, but there are some random openings. So
okay,
let's hope for the best on that.
Yes.
Find me on social media, Facebook and YouTube, Motor City Hypnotist, and on Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok, Motor City Hypno, HYPNO. And as we've done every episode, going back to number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll get a text with a downloadable PDF. It's a hypnosis guide that I've written. It kind of just goes over basically what hypnosis is, how and why it works, dispels some myths and misconceptions. And it will also give you a link to my Google business page. If you could leave a review there, that would be greatly appreciated. And whatever platform you're on, wherever you're listening to the podcast, whatever platform, Stitcher, iTunes, whatever it is, connect, link, like whatever it is on your platform, and leave a review there as well, because that's the important thing so that we can get the podcast out to more people. All right.
There we go.
That's all the good stuff.
That's how winning is done.
Alrighty. So this one's straightforward, Matt, because the winner of the week this week are the Detroit Pistons.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a handful of teams that have been able to come back from a 3-1 deficit
in
the playoffs in a 7-game series, and they did it.
Yes,
they did it in Piston fashion.
Yep,
they learned a few lessons. They learned a few of the
and I was worried when they got down 3-1 because I mean, and those of you who don't follow sports or basketball, we're going to get off on a tangent a little bit, but they were the number 1 seed, and Orlando was the number 8 seed,
right?
So we should have handily
should have,
but we did come out on top. They came down from 3-1, won 3 games in a row.
And I will say that this is the first playoff series that they have won since 2008.
Yes, it's been a while.
So they were due.
They were.
But for them to, that's not the story. The story is where they were 2 seasons ago.
Yep.
Worst record in basketball history in basketball.
Yep.
To almost making the playoffs last year,
right?
To now in the playoffs, number
1
seed.
Yes, so that's the key thing.
They have been making strides over the past 3 seasons.
It's significant progress over the last few years, and and just to see that to win 3 games in a row in any sport is pretty rare.
It's tough.
Yeah, and if you look. I didn't go through the stats myself, but there are only a handful of teams that came back from a 3-1 deficit and moved on in the playoffs. So, big shout out to the Pistons. Let's see how they do next round against the Cavaliers.
Yep, it's going to be interesting.
We'll see.
They won't have jet lag.
Right, that's true. Yeah, because at least they're close.
They're very close.
Yeah,
they're 2.5 hours from each other.
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
winner of the week.
Definitely winner of the week.
Winning is done.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
Back to it.
So hit
we're talking about the Force. So today is May 4th, typically called May the 4th be with you, celebration of Star Wars. Sorry for those of you who are not Star Wars fans, but I have to believe that just in general, people know the term when you talk about the Force. People know where that is, even if you're not a Star Wars fan or a science fiction fan per se. Everyone has heard that term. May the Force be with you. That's why May the 4th be with you. It just turned into this Star Wars celebration.
It just happens.
Yes. So it's something that has been in the culture since 1977. When the first Star Wars movie came out.
I was 77. I was 3.
I was 12. And I did see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people cannot say that.
No, I was 74, 77, right? Yeah, I was
77.
Yeah, I was 3.
Yeah. Okay. So you did not see it in the theaters, I'm guessing.
No, I didn't.
Because you were too young.
Wow. I still
as a 3-year-old. I mean,
okay. So Star Wars has been around my entire life that I can remember.
Correct. Yes. And see, I can remember life before Star Wars.
Right.
And
because you had the Brady Bunch.
A little anecdotal like story, but my grandparents, they went, I remember this because I remember, again, I was like 12 and I saw it at the movies. So they had heard all of this hullabaloo regarding this movie. Like, oh my gosh.
But science fiction had been around for a long time. You had Doctor Who.
Well, sure.
You had Star Trek.
You had Star Trek and you had Lost in Space and you had Battlestar Galactica. Or that was that? No, that was probably in that era. Right. Yeah. So no, sci-fi was definitely a thing. I mean, even going back into the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, like I said, Doctor Who.
Yeah, absolutely. So people know the term the Force, and the reason we're talking about it again is it's because we're celebrating Star Wars. But the concept of the Force, it echoes real philosophical and spiritual traditions.
Well, there's
across different stages of human history.
But when it comes to the Force itself, there is a dark side and the light side.
Yep.
And how do you think? Do you think more Sith Lord with the dark side, or are you more Jedi thinking?
Well, and that's a great question. Like with human beings, what it's kind of questions that human beings have wrestled with for years. Duality, inner conflict, connection, balance. And people come to therapy to get balance in their lives, to kind of just focus in and find out just how to function better as a human being.
Right.
And in the Force, even though it's fictional, it kind of gives you that, I don't know, that goal to work towards or to become better. If that makes sense.
And that's on both sides of it, though.
Right.
That's on both sides of the Force, dark or light.
Yep.
You know, they want to get better personally. They want to be able to save their partner from certain death. They want to, live forever. They want to understand. They want to be patient with who they're with. They want to give away all their worldly possessions and just live life. There's two different sides to all that, Dave. So when it comes to the Force itself, in Star Wars, it's being able to control it. It's not mind control. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? They can move
controlling
things.
your environment.
They can move things with their mind. Right.
Yeah. Right. So in Star Wars, those of you who may not know, and maybe you've heard the term, I'm sure you have, but you don't quite know what it means because you haven't seen the movies, which is fine. So really, the Force in Star Wars, it's described as an energy that binds all living things. It flows through everything. It connects all beings. It can be harnessed by those who are sensitive to it. So when I say that, it probably rings some very familiar bells for you.
I'm curious, what's your midichlorian count?
Yeah, I have no idea. But really, the idea of the Force, it really follows a lot of traditional philosophy teachings and also religious movements as well.
Yeah.
So a concept like chi, which is in Chinese thought, or prana in Indian traditions.
Okay.
They both of those terms refer to the life force that permeates reality. So there's always been something established with this idea.
So do you think George Lucas kind of took and looked at all these different cultures and religions, and he kind of created what we call the Force today?
That's a great question. I have to believe that probably Eastern teachings probably influenced that. I would guess, but it's hard to say because I've never heard him really say.
No, he hasn't.
Where, like the idea for Star Wars, yes, it was supposed to be a soap opera in space.
Yes.
But the specifics, I've never heard him say where. Okay, how did I get the idea for the Force? Where did that come from? But even in like Western philosophy, thinkers and philosophers have grappled with similar ideas. For example, the movement, the Stoics, believed in rational force called the logos that orders the universe.
Okay.
So right away, when we talk about the Force as a fictional thing, yes, it's fictional as far as Star Wars goes, but the idea of it, the idea of energy and connection and the structure of reality, that's always been in the human psyche or in their lexicon.
Yeah.
That's something we've always been striving for. So, and Matt brought it up just briefly, but in Star Wars, the idea of the Force, one of the most compelling aspects is there's a light side and a dark side.
Yeah.
There's duality, there's conflict, there's differences. And at first glance, you would just think, yeah, it's your typical storytelling. It's good versus evil. That's what the story is, and that's what most stories are. But it's a little more nuanced, and it leans a lot more into philosophy rather than just being good versus evil.
Sure.
So the duality mirrors concepts like yin and yang, which is popular in Taoism.
Taoism?
In fact,
yeah. Oh, look at that! You got it. Yeah, you got to get.
I actually have a tattoo of yin and yang on my arm.
I never knew you had
fire and water.
I didn't know you had ink.
Yeah,
I honestly, I've known you for years. I had no idea you had ink.
That's my only ink. That was my Valentine's gift for my wife when we were dating.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So, I just learned something new. All right. Did you know he had ink, Jamie?
We've been in the sauna together.
You've taken a bath together in the sauna?
No.
All right.
I kept my towel on, Jamie. Just saying.
It's on his arm. All right.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
So yeah, it's when we're talking about, again, these philosophies and these things, their connections to real life philosophy and religious beliefs.
All right.
So with Taoism in particular, yin and yang aren't about good and evil. That's not what they promote.
No.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
It's about opposing forces that are interconnected and interdependent. So you have to have one to have the other.
There's different the storytelling around yin and yang has been around for years,
yes,
decades,
yes,
centuries,
yes.
And there was a popular cartoon, Avatar.
Yep.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, Last Airbender. Yep.
And there were two spirits, yin and yang. One was white, one was white, one was black.
Yep.
They were two fish.
Yep.
Right. And one of them was killed.
Yeah.
And the balance of the world, the moon disappeared, and that it's this storytelling around the light and dark has been around for centuries. So for George Lucas to take this to another level with storytelling,
right,
around Taoism, you know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
it's just it just creates it's so interesting what the human mind can come up with when it comes to storytelling.
Absolutely.
I'm always enthralled in this
and
stuff.
Star Wars takes this and they really kind of, in a way, they kind of complicate it a little bit. And I'll say I'll explain what I'm saying with this. So in the Star Wars universe, Jedis are the good guys,
the
supposedly,
light side,
let's say. And they strive to suppress emotion, seeking calm and control.
Oh, they're Vulcans?
And the Sith, well, we're going to get back. No, we're coming to that, Matt. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you on that.
All right.
The opposite power, the Sith, embrace passion, power, and desire.
Okay.
So it's kind of this duality in our own human natures. We seek to suppress emotion at times. If it's painful, we try to calm and control things. And sometimes when we're, I don't know, maybe if our intentions are not pure, we can get pulled in to passion and power and desire.
Of course.
And that's when you see,
because that's where the money is.
Where people, like criminals.
Yeah.
Yes, they want money, they want power, they want these things. So philosophically, it raises a human question: is suppressing emotion really good, or is it just another extreme?
It's a skill.
It can be a skill, but I also say, and again, my bias as a therapist, I would also say it could be a skill, but it can also be a detriment.
Yeah.
Because
and there's a balance in that skill.
If you're
too.
suppressing it, then that says that it's affecting you. The fact that you have to suppress it. So over history, again, many spiritual traditions talk about balance, not suppression as the goal.
Interesting.
Yeah. So really, kind of like maybe the real lesson isn't light is good, dark is bad, but rather imbalance is bad.
See, I work in the gray area because you need to be able to control things and have power over certain things, aspects of your life. But on the other side of it, you want to understand. You need to let go. You need to, be the better person in the long run. But you still need to be able to control your own environment at the same time. There's such a gray area in there.
And absolutely. And again, everybody has a different developed sense of self. So some people are able to be very insightful. Some people struggle with that.
Yeah.
So that kind of plays into it.
To understand the sacrifice part of it, the forgiveness side part, the forgiveness of it all.
Yes.
There is such a balance. You need to be able to forgive yourself before you forgive somebody else.
So we mentioned a few moments ago, Stoicism.
Yes.
So let's get into let's talk about the Jedi in particular in Star Wars.
Okay.
They value discipline. They value detachment. They embrace emotional control. And all of these things strongly resemble Stoic philosophy. That's what that movement is about.
Right.
It's about discipline and detachment and suppressing emotion.
Just take the high ground.
So Stoics believe that we should not be ruled by emotions, but guided by reason and logic. So based on that, going back to Matt's thing, Vulcans,
yeah.
Again, we see these characters in different formats and different settings. Now, it's really easy to do it in sci-fi just because that's kind of built for that kind of a thing.
Sure.
But yes, in Star Trek, definitely Vulcans are stoics. That they ascribe to this approach to life.
But they're so stoic that they're actually kind of assholes.
Yeah. Well, and here's the whole thing. The idea is that with stoicism, if we don't let our emotions rule us and we just focus on reason and logic, the thought or the theory is that you'll maintain inner peace.
Sure.
Now, there's there's arguments, or there's the other side to that. So the Jedi takes this idea to an extreme. They discourage attachment entirely, even love.
Yeah.
So it's isolative in a way. Even though you're part of this bigger movement, or you're part of this thing, you're cutting yourself off individually from other areas that could be healthy and positive and good for you. So that becomes a problem. So here's the thing. And we talk about Anakin. And again, those of you, I'll just give a brief. Anakin was a Jedi and he turned to the dark side.
He was trained.
He became Darth Vader.
He was trained as a Jedi.
Yes.
And through his passion for his girlfriend, Padme, who he fell in love with, and him seeing a vision through a dream that she was dying.
Yep.
He wanted to save her. And that's what drove him to the dark side, was to save her. But somebody else was pushing him to embrace that passion to save her, the power and passion to save her.
And again, Anakin's fall to the dark side, it's not just emotion. That's not the only thing driving it.
Right.
It's his fear of losing something he loves.
Right.
And that's the key part. And here's the thing. If you look at it in a philosophical sense and watch the movie very objectively, the Jedi failed him because they never taught him how to process these feelings of fear, these feelings of potential loss. They simply tell him to let go, let it go.
But his master, Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan's master, Qui-Gon, did what he could to introduce Anakin to the Force.
Right.
And then when he was killed by Maul, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan killed him, supposedly.
Right. Yes.
But then Obi-Wan training Anakin and being a older brother to this kid, the two of them were brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm teaching you to be a Jedi master, to be a Jedi, not a Jedi master, but in the long run, Obi-Wan felt that he failed Anakin because he didn't teach him how to differentiate.
Right. Yes. And again, that's good storytelling, but how applicable is that in real life?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of the question.
It's like having a mentor at work.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Or a mentor in life, a life coach or whatever you're going to use.
Sure.
But when you at work, if you have someone that you depend on or that you trust to teach you, that you can go to for questions about your own work ethic and how to do things, but then go back in life, how to approach a certain life situation. If they give you bad advice, who are you going to blame?
Right.
And that's what happened with Anakin, is that he blamed the Jedi Order.
Sure. He blamed the system. The system let him down. Yeah. In a way, that is accurate. It is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna continue to talk about the Force, folks. I know we're gonna do another episode. We always do part 1 and 2, so that's what we do.
But we are nerding out at the same time.
Yes, and that's and we love this. And I know those of you listening, you can still get something from this. Don't bail because it's sci-fi or because it's Star Wars. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's all relevant.
But these things we're going to bring it back to how does this affect us as in real life as human beings with our own duality, with our own sense of right and wrong,
How did
light
George
and dark.
How did George Lucas affect us without affecting us?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So we will be back with part 2 of The Force in honor of May 4th.
All right. Thank you.
Those of you on Facebook Live, stick around. We're doing one more episode. Those of you listening to audio, if the next episode is not there, it will be there on Tuesday or Thursday.
Yes, it will.
And unfortunately, I don't have a dog today,
Matt. No, but you don't need it.
No, I'm just saying though, because I went to for some reason, the Detroit Dog Rescue site was down today.
All right,
I couldn't get in this afternoon.
They might be upgrading.
Yeah, it could be.
But look to the Detroit Dog Rescue.
Yes.
If you're looking and want to adopt a pet, bring, even if it's a senior dog or cat, and you want to bring them to your household, give them the best years of their life.
Yes.
Even if it's the last years of their life,
do
it. Just open your heart, open your home.
Yep. That would be fantastic.
Please.
Again, DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Honestly, every week that I look these up, there's probably a good 20, 25 dogs.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Just go and look.
So yeah. And let me throw this out there in public because it'll force me to do it. I'm going to reach out to Detroit Dog Rescue and hopefully get them on the show. We've talked about this like 100 times, but
I can send a message if you want me to.
Please do.
All right.
Yeah.
You do it.
That'd be great.
Do it.
I'll do it. We'll both do it. Right. Yeah. All right, folks, that is our show. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind.
We'll be right back.
We'll see you next time.
Part 2. This is like episode 2.
It is like that. Yes.
The Clone Wars.
Right.
It's fun.
What's going on, Alice? See you checked in. Thanks for checking in. In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we are finishing up with The Force. This is part 2 in honor of May the 4th be with you.
And also
we're talking
you.
about Star Wars. And we're talking about the Force and its duality. And we covered just kind of the connections the Force has to real philosophies and spiritual organizations and religions,
and with your spirit
and with yourself.
Yeah.
So this is part 2. If you haven't listened to part 1, jump back an episode. You can be caught up, or you can listen to it after this one. You'll still get all the information.
Please
hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying. Like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything with that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother. I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
May the Force be with you.
May the 4th be with you too, Matt. That's Matt Fox, the other voice you hear.
I'm a purist.
Today is May 4th. Star Wars Celebration Day for all of us nerds. If you're not a nerd, don't worry. There's content here for you. Don't worry. I'll get it. So let me tell you before we get started, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. We are just approaching grad season. In fact, the first show is a week from Saturday out in Grand Blanc. So we still have dates open. Not a lot, but a few. So if you're interested in your grad night entertainment, go to my website, motorcityhypnotist.com/shows. You can have a quote within minutes and book online within minutes as well.
What
so
better?
You get it locked in, have your entertainment set. My social media, Facebook and YouTube are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno. That's HYPNO.
Please.
And as we've done, going all the way back to show number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you will receive a text message with a downloadable PDF. It's a hypnosis guide that I've written. And you'll also get a link to my Google business page. I would appreciate it if you could leave a review there of the podcast or of me if you've seen me in person or of a show, whatever it is, however you know me. Chances are it's probably from the podcast since you're hearing it here. But yes, definitely leave a review that helps us out. And whatever platform you're listening on, leave a review there also, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever it is. That would be fantastic, and I really appreciate it. All righty. It is time, Matt.
Oh, here we go.
That's how winning is done.
All right, hit me, coach.
All righty. An experienced rancher and his 2 neighbors recently conducted a harrowing rescue of 15 horses from chest-high floodwaters in the dead of night.
Wait. Who are we talking about?
An experienced rancher and his 2 neighbors.
Okay, so 3 gentlemen
recently conducted a harrowing rescue of 15 horses from chest-high floodwaters in the dead of night.
Okay.
When a stronger than usual Hawaiian wet season dumped disaster-level rains on Oahu's normally tranquil North Shore, Tyler Smith was the first one on the scene.
How did the horses get to Hawaii? Oh no, I'm just kidding.
They swam.
Their arms must be really tired.
No, don't shut
So
me up.
there are 15 horses in Hawaii,
Yes.
and there was a more than usual rainfall,
Yes.
which caused a flood.
Disaster level rains on Oahu's normally tranquil North Shore.
Okay, so they rescued 15.
So Tyler Smith was the first one on scene. He's the experienced rancher.
Okay.
But it was a scene of disaster, and after waiting anxiously for weather developments following a government alert, Smith wasn't going to wait around to see if the already chest-high water would reach the chest of the horses in the paddocks of the Dillingham Ranch in Waialua.
Gesundheit.
So it's crazy. W-A-I-L.
Wailua.
W-A-I-A-L-U-A.
Yeah,
Walula.
Talk like a Hawaiian. Wailua.
Walua.
All right.
Okay, there it is. When I got there, it was something I will never forget, Smith shared. There's nobody there. I drove up into a disaster scene that nobody knows about, starting off alone. He arrived in his pickup truck, and as he drove through the paddock gate and opened the door, the water was already so high, it began filling the footwells.
Oh, boy.
He mounted the horse he said he was responsible for and rode her out of the paddock. That's when his neighbors, Kelsey and Levi, arrived in a backhoe to help execute a quick, calm, and effective response in truly harrowing circumstances.
So Kelsey and Levi came with the rancher, the experienced rancher, right?
Yep.
And he said, you're coming with me. And they did what they did. So what was the next thing that
Levi and his family do a lot to take care of the ranch. Smith told the producer of the Dodo, with whom he also shared his story, and with their backhoe, the trio could move through the deeper water without issue. They also rescued a woman, Inga, who was nearby and needed help, and in turn helped them with their rescue. So now they got 4 people on the rescue.
Oh my goodness.
They got to the flooded paddock where 4 of Levi's horses were clustered together on a spit of higher ground. They were surprisingly calm once Levi and Smith arrived with halters. After that, it was just a case of leading them to a place that wasn't flooded. Smith reckoned he walked with the horses a quarter mile, and they remained mostly calm for the entire way. Another reporter's notes on the story claim that just the backhoe's muscle, halters, and sheer willpower They kept working until 15 horses were out of there, but not before a stallion's fear almost led to panic among the rest of the animals. Later, veterinarians marveled at how all 15 horses came out of the flood without any injuries whatsoever.
All right.
Smith said that once Levi and Kelsey had finished with their horses, they returned with their backhoe to help their neighbors, pulling cars out that were stuck or picking up those who had climbed onto roofs of their houses. So that's a story. Yeah.
It's a flood.
Yeah, it's a flood with 15 horses trapped in their paddocks. I'm assuming paddock means stables. I'm going to assume. Yeah.
It's a warehouse and you've got stalls.
You got your stalls for each horse. Yeah.
And there were 15 horses in there and they saved all 15. Yet one of the stallions freaked out.
Yep.
Which may have caused panic across the entire herd of horses.
But could have, but it didn't. So that's a good thing.
But he waited until they were chest high.
All 15 horses rescued. Good. Nobody hurt. Nobody injured. Good story.
All right.
Winner of the week for sure.
Thank you.
Where?
There it is.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
So this is part 2, folks, of The Force. We're talking about The Force in honor of May the 4th be with you, or in real Star Wars terms, May the Force be with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a little bit about how the Force kind of connects to a lot of Eastern religions and philosophies. Especially, we talked about Stoicism. We talked about I'm drawing a blank. Give me a second.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for the other Taoism. That was the other approach that we kind of hit on.
Yes.
So we were talking about Jedi and how how they suppress emotion and again use the Force. So let's flip over to the supposedly evil side or the negative side. Let's talk about the Sith.
Okay. So this is an area that actually intrigues me because they at the bottom of their heart, and with Anakin, at the bottom of his heart, he truly isn't evil.
No, but
this is what intrigues me about it.
Yes, and so the Sith aligns a lot with the theory of existentialism, and we'll get into that. So the Sith embrace passion, ambition, individuality. In some ways, that all of those things line directly with existentialist philosophy, in the idea that individuals create their own meaning and they should act authentically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess in general, the Sith reject imposed order. They pursue power and self-determination,
but in order. There's still an order.
Well, they have an order, but the thing is, they reject the traditional order of things.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
Okay.
Here's the catch with Sith, though. Without ethical grounding, that pursuit turns destructive.
Well,
as we've seen in the movies, freedom without responsibility causes chaos.
Okay.
So while the Sith represent liberation from constraints or rules or laws, the danger becomes unchecked desire at that point, the seeking of power and wealth.
I'm not sure if you've watched any of the new series that dropped with Maul.
I have not. Right.
It really kind of delves into his life after, and spoilers, he's alive, but it dives into his life and his decisions after, like a year after he was supposedly after the episode 3.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a year after episode 3.
Correct. Yes.
And that's what he is going through in his life. He's on a different planet. He's made friends from Mandalore and he's a gangster.
So you don't have to give me specifics.
I just don't want to spoil it.
Do they answer how he's still alive?
No. Okay. They don't, because you have to watch the Clone Wars. You have to watch the Clone Wars to know that.
Okay, so they do explain it.
They do explain it, but not in this series.
Okay, fine. I just want to know if there was an explanation somewhere for that. Yes,
but back to your point, he is a Jedi, but he is a Sith Lord. Yes. He has Force powers.
Yes.
And he uses them for his own gain.
Yep.
And that's the difference between the dark side for their own gain and Jedis who are not for their own. They're there for the gain of the human population.
Right. For the masses.
For the masses.
Yes. Right. So really with the Sith, it's philosophically, it's kind of a warning. Self-expression without balance can lead to destruction. And we see that in the story of Star Wars with Anakin. That's ultimately he's maimed and has to wear this suit to be able to live without pain. So
he's still in pain.
Oh no, he is. Yes. So with Star Wars, if you've not seen it, spoiler alert, the whole idea of the Force is bringing balance. They talk about this a lot.
He gave
in fact, in episode Revenge of the Sith
3,
3, Obi-Wan even says that. He says you were meant to bring balance, not tear it apart.
Yeah, not leave it in,
not leave it in darkness.
Right.
That was the exact term.
Right. But he gave it an arm and a leg for it.
So but then the question is, what is balance? Yeah, I got it. Ding ding, I got it.
Right.
It was delayed. I got it, man. You're good. So what does balance mean? How does that work when you have two sides?
But
that's the big question.
That's the gray area.
Is it the elimination of the dark side, or is it something more subtle?
You can't have one without the other.
So looking at real world philosophies, balance doesn't mean erasing one side or the other. It means integrating them.
It's fine.
Most philosophies, when they talk about different sides of things, the emphasis is on integration, that these things are together. They exist, they coexist in you.
They do. And but we all have different balances as individuals.
Yeah.
So we have to find where we fit into that puzzle of, yes, we want power. Yes, we want to, sacrifice, and we want to forgive. Where do we stand as individuals in that?
Well, and
everybody's different in there.
In one of the biggest psychologists in history, Carl Jung, Jungian
never
psychology.
Never heard of him.
I think we did an episode on Carl Jung way back.
Yes,
no,
we did.
I think we did. It was just clicking with me now. But Carl Jung talks about the shadow, and what that is in psychological terms. It's parts of ourselves that we try to suppress. It's the part that we don't want to acknowledge or don't want other people to see. It could be feelings of hate. It could be feelings of wanting to hurt someone. It could be feelings of negativity, just in general. So Jung talks about the shadow. Shadow is part of the approach that we have to address when we're talking in a Jungian approach as far as therapy goes.
Okay.
So for Jung, he says the true growth comes from acknowledging and integrating the shadow, not pretending it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So in balance, in the Force, when we talk about balancing, it's not about destroying the darkness. It's about understanding it.
Not controlling it.
Not controlling it necessarily. So the big thing with Star Wars, and we know it's a movie, it's, we could say it's fiction, it's made up, but most fiction has its roots in reality.
I thought
that's how they.
I really thought it was.
Thought it was a true story.
I thought it was
based
nonfiction.
on a true story. Yeah,
in a galaxy far, far away.
But at its core, honestly, it's about the human condition.
Yeah,
that really is, and honestly, most stories are about the human condition.
And I will go back to my original question, back to the last episode. George Lucas, the research in the 70s that was at his disposal,
right?
I just want to understand the research that he put into this storytelling.
Okay, so this could go one of two ways. We could look that up, maybe find some information, say yes, he did a lot of a lot of different philosophers of the day or of the past. But it could also be, and this would be disappointing, he's like, I didn't look at anything. I just made this shit up.
You're not,
but that would be disappointing because
it
wouldn't have a basis in like.
But the research that he put into the story itself, he wrote all these stories, all 6 episodes, but he didn't have the technology to tell 1, 2, and 3. He started with 4,
5, and 6,
4, 5, and 6, because he knew he didn't have the technology to tell 1, 2, and 3.
So,
the stories,
so I will give him this
episodes
because again, he came up with it. He had the imagination to write this and to do it. And his wife saved him because she re-edited the whole first episode 4,
Uh-huh.
A New Hope.
Okay.
The film he was going to put out there is not what we saw.
Oh, really?
His wife said, no, this doesn't flow. It doesn't feel right. She re-edited the whole film.
So Mrs. Lucas, Jedi Master, came down and said, no, you won't be a Sith Lord. You're going to be
for an example, I'll give you a quick example, and you can find this online, the George Lucas cut of New Hope.
Okay.
And the whole first 20 minutes are Luke with his buddy on Tatooine talking about the Empire.
Really?
And how they hate it and how they want to get out of this crappy place.
Hmm.
But it didn't drive the story further.
See, I didn't know that existed.
Yes.
Until just now.
Yes. So take a look. It's interesting.
I will.
Yes, it's interesting.
So, as much as Star Wars that I feel I know, I did not know that.
Yes. Yeah.
But to my original thought was
Mhm.
I hope he did all this research about Taoism and Stoicism.
Yeah, I would
and
hope
what have you,
so.
to create this universe of light side, dark side.
Mhm.
But as the decades have passed, he's been able to tell a more deep story. And now we have David Filoni, who has taken the universe and expanded upon it.
Yes.
Tremendously.
Mhm.
He was just cutting film at one point, and Lucas, I guess, saw something in him and said, you are a really good storyteller with what you're doing. Tell me more about what you think. This, these characters.
Well, and you can see what he did when given free reign with the Mandalorian.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Favreau and Filoni.
Yes.
They've really changed the whole concept of what the Star Wars universe is.
Absolutely.
I'm curious to see where it's going to go, but at its roots, they have to make sure that they stay they have to stay true to the roots of the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
And the Force.
And I will say, in general, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you've probably seen other films, other TV shows, other books that carry the same sort of feeling.
Yeah.
This good versus evil, this inner battle between light and dark, this recognition of your faults.
You know what you just said? God and the devil.
Yeah.
This has been
this has been a lifelong, world long story of good and evil. That's your
evil.
story.
Yeah.
Yes. And really with the Force in Star Wars, it really reflects human beings' struggles with control, chaos, emotion, selflessness. And maybe that's why it resonates with people. Maybe it's just they see something or they feel something, and it's like, yeah, I struggle with this dichotomy or these differences in myself. And honestly, I would say in general, I would say the Force is a metaphor. It's a metaphor of what's happening inside all of us. That we're trying to find our own place. We're trying to figure out what, of course we don't want the bad qualities, but everybody has them. It's human being. You have good and bad in you. And it just where you fall on that spectrum is a big, it's a big challenge sometimes, especially if you're trying to move towards a better life or a better self. And yes, you might have these negative things that bring you down or that you turn to. I mean, again, and if we get into just practical things, drugs, alcohol, other things that you cope with, but that's not resolving the issue. So here's the whole thing. The Force, we can use that as the metaphor for human condition and say that good and bad exists in all of us. The problem is when the bad overrides the good and you're not able to, I guess, manage that or harness that or pull it back, that becomes a challenge. And just being aware of it, I think, is the big thing.
Right.
So, in conclusion, yes, the Force kind of exists. It exists in every one of us. But we all have light and dark sides.
But where do you exist within that plane of
existence? I mean, are you
right?
And if you want to even break it into percentages and say, okay, it's 1 to 100. Are you 50% good, bad? Are you 70% bad, good? I mean,
okay, so
trying to evaluate that.
But I've talked about the gray area a few times. The gray area exists between 40% and 60%.
Yep.
That's the gray area.
Yeah.
In my mind. So
yeah.
And that's where I feel I exist. I'm like, I might be sometimes, 45% on that scale. I might sometimes on the situation, I might be in the 55% of that scale.
Yeah.
But that's that gray area that you act in as a human being to forgive someone or to understand where somebody else is. Or if you are on a power trip, don't let it go too far.
Well, that's the big one. And again, that's when we look back at Star Wars. That's what happened with Anakin. He was, but here's the thing, and I want to preface this and say his turn came from fear. That's where it started.
The fear of losing.
Fear of losing his love.
Padme.
Yes. Yeah. So everybody has gone through that feeling. And I guess you have to ask, like, how do I handle negative influences in my life? How do I react to those? Do I react negatively? Do I react positively? And sometimes it's just self-evaluation and inventory,
right,
to kind of realize where you're at. Even though this is a made-up thing, it actually exists in all of us. So for you, I would say, focus on the positives, focus on the improvements, focus on the things that make you feel good. Yes, you have these other things that are negative, but we don't have to stay there. We don't have to sit with those and take that to heart. We can say, yeah, there's some bad things, but I can work on those, and I can be on this side for the most part in doing well or doing better or doing good.
So David, let me ask you the question.
Yeah.
What color is your lightsaber?
Purple.
For Mace Windu?
Yeah, just because it's an unusual one. And in honor of May the 4th be with you, I have my lightsaber with me.
There you go.
You guys can see that. Unfortunately, it's not charged.
So if it was charged, what would happen?
It would go.
So would a light come out of it?
No.
Oh man.
They did include a stick with it.
Okay, all right.
It just doesn't make sense to put that in.
It just makes noise.
It does make the noise though, and if you move it, you'll get the.
Do you know where the noise came from for the lightsabers?
It was a telephone line, I think, or a cable. No, the cable was for the phaser or the lasers.
Right. The sign for lightsabers came from a microphone, a live mic walking behind a television. And when it walked by, it was a live microphone. And when it walked
picked up the feedback.
It picked up the feedback and it went, whoa. That's where the sound for the lightsaber came from, was feedback from a live mic on the back of a TV.
Yeah. I know that with the lasers or I guess the lasers, phasers would be Star Trek, but the lasers, it was the tapping of that cable on the line. Pew, pew. Yeah.
Yeah, but lightsabers, they have that different sound.
Yep,
and they would just move it, that live mic around a speaker, and that was the feedback.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah.
Fantastic.
There you go.
All right, folks, that is our episode. The Force. May the Force be with you on this May 4th. May the 4th be with you as well.
And with your spirit.
And wherever you're at, whatever dark or light, let's just move over to the light a little bit.
The light side will give you a path to forgiveness. The dark side will give you a path to understanding the light side.
Understanding it. But there's some challenges with that.
Challenges
yes,
with that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. All righty, folks. That's our show.
Wow.
Join us next Monday. We'll be here, same time, same bat channel. 8:00 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Motor City Hypnotist Facebook page, Facebook Live. You can see it there.
Yep.
In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.